Pros bring something extra to every job. Now at the Home Depot, they also get something extra. Pro Extra, our free loyalty program built for pros just like you. Members earn perks with every dollar spent, like Pro Extra Dollars, a tool rental credit, and more. New members get $20 off their next in-store purchase of $200 or more just for signing up. Learn more at homedepot.com/Pro Extra. New year, more rewards, Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
All right, now let's take a look at your report for this Saturday. Some college football. We even throw in some college basketball, sharp information, NBA. The roll continues since August the 27th of last year, one of the great sustained runs in the history of gambling. I'm telling you, folks, clients who have been with me, some of them been with me for the entire 31-year run. Some of them been with me for a decade. This is commonplace to them, but I assure you, you get picks anywhere else. You'll never, ever experience runs like JDP goes on. I've worked so hard, picked up so much intel over the years, refined my angles, and we've gotten even better and better and better. You notice that all of a sudden lately we've been releasing mostly totals. That's because of some great discoveries we've made, and our scientific labs are continuing to discover new angles that win. So our angles are actually better than they ever have been. So expect the records to keep getting better. 92.56 in football. 12 wise guy plays today in college football. Yep, there's a reason why our plays are getting stronger. 3 more in the NBA. Majors in both. OffshoreInsiders.com. Let's take a look at some weather conditions for today. As we always like to tell you, winds are the most important thing to worry about, and especially when it comes to handicapping totals. I say about 15 miles per hour, most sharps do. I know another sharp who really likes to start paying attention when it gets above 20 miles per hour, but I'll report, you decide. Akron and Eastern Michigan, BYU and UMass both at 17 miles per hour. Illinois and Nebraska, 16. Kansas State at 17. Ohio State, Michigan State, 16. SMU, Connecticut, 15. Wisconsin and Penn State, 17. North Texas, Old Dominion, as well as Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, each at 15. And then Michigan and Rutgers at 16. So nothing above 20 miles per hour, which we did have last week. Let's take a look at some of the sharp moves. First of all, the biggest consensus plays in terms of the number of bets: West Virginia, Cincinnati, Alabama, LSU, and the Ohio State. Most lopsided in terms of the amount of money bet, percentage of money: Cincinnati, very strong. Pittsburgh, also very strong. Then Ohio State and Northwestern. Sharp versus square metrics. ARCO, or some people call this pros versus Joes. We don't like that name because, as you know, the sharpest guy in the world, his name is Joe Duffy. And that's where you're going to get more winners than you're going to get literally anywhere else. All right, Arkansas, Old Dominion, and Texas, San Antonio. As far as some over-unders, the most lopsided bets in terms of number of bets: Oklahoma State to go over, then Georgia Tech under. The biggest sportsbook liabilities, the biggest consensus plays in terms of money bet: North Carolina over, Virginia Tech over, LSU over, Notre Dame under, Oklahoma State over. So the sports books are obviously rooting for the opposite on all those. Sharp versus square metrics, a couple of the stronger ones we've seen all year: UCLA over, Western Kentucky over. These who the sharps are betting, and the squares tend to lean towards the other way. And Texas Tech under. Now some NBA sharp information as well. First of all, when it comes to the spread, most lopsided in terms of bets: Milwaukee and Chicago. Most lopsided in terms of the amount of money bet, Houston Rockets. Of course, we're in NBA. Over, under, not really an overwhelming consensus on the number of bets, but percentage of money, yeah. LA Clippers over. I'm sorry, let me retract. That's LA Clippers under. LA Clippers under, a big consensus in terms of money. Cleveland over. Sharp versus square metrics. Philadelphia over. College basketball, where it's a little bit early, not quite as well. We got a decent number of bets on some of these. We'll just go with the spread because not really enough data on total to really have anything overwhelming. Most lopsided bets in terms of the number of bets, Villanova, UNI, and most lopsided bets in terms of money. Wow, yes, UNI as well. William and Mary, and Syracuse. Those would be the big bets. How about some ATS trends for today? And of course, don't forget, mybookie.ag. Yeah, they continue to give the biggest bonus in the history of the industry, 100% sign-up bonus if you use the promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y. And again, as long as you use the promo code Duffy, you're going to get the 100% sign-up bonus, no catch. $1,000 you deposit, you got $2,000 to bet with today. Temple is 39-17 on the road. Texas is going under 18-4 on the road. Connecticut 7-23 at home. Oklahoma 50-25 as a home favorite. Nebraska 1-11 at home. All these records are against the spread except when we specify over-unders. UTEP has gone under 19-5 at home. Old Dominion over 17-4-1 as an underdog. Who've been the best teams to bet on this year? We based this on the so-called sweat barometer, or we like to call it the margin of cover. We were calling it that before other people started calling it the sweat barometer. But this is, again, a margin of cover. It's the same as margin of victory, just based on relative to the point spread. Utah State is 8-1 this year, and they've covered by a nation-leading 13.4 points per game. Of course, when you're 8-1, that'll happen. Cincinnati 6-3, plus 12.4. Army 5-3-1, but by 11.8 points per game they're covering. Fresno State is 8-2, plus 10.6. Texas Tech 6-3 plus 9.9. We do have one other 8-1 team, UAB. Well, actually, that's not true. We have a couple more. UAB 8-1 plus 9.8. Now, something interesting. Washington State also has an 8-1 record, but they're covering by quote unquote only 6.3 points per game. So Washington State somewhat lucky. That's why we like to use the margin of cover, because it measures truly whether teams are covering by large margins or not. Team that played last night, Louisville, far and away the worst in the country, 1-9, minus 16.6. They're failing to cover by 16.6 points per game. Navy 1-7-1, failing to cover by an average of 10.7. South Florida 2-7 by an average of 10 points per game. New Mexico State 2-8 by an average of 9.5, and then Florida State 3-6 by an average of 9.4 points per game. The biggest over teams in college football this year have been Oklahoma's going over 8-1 by an average of 12.8 points per game. New Mexico State is going over 7-3 by an average of 12.3. Houston over 6-3 by an average of 12 points per game. Utah State and Old Dominion have each gone over 8-1. Utah State by 11.4. Old Dominion by 10.6. UMass is going over 7-3 by an average of 10.6. And yeah, Liberty. So you include those added rotation games. Liberty over 5-3 by an average of 10.2. Biggest under teams, Mississippi State under 7-1 by an average of 12.1 points per game. Kentucky under 6-3 by an average of 11.2. Tulsa under 7-2 by an average of 9 points per game. California is going under 7-2 by an average of 8.7. Washington under 8-2 by an average of 8 points per game. Biggest line moves today? You know, why don't I give my free pick first? Yep, I promised a free pick. Central Michigan and Bowling Green under. This is an actual premium play. When we released it, the total was 51.5. And essentially, we have a mathematical total that we use. Now we compare it to the actual posted total, and we use the odds makers' knowledge against them. This has gone under 671 and 404 rate. Now we also have one where we go over. In reality, we could probably combine them for a great combined record, but our computer, of course, is going to list the over and under separately. So the under half of this incredible angle, 671 and 404. By the way, because this basic angle and system crosses sports, one of the reasons we weigh it a little bit more heavily. And look, the truth is, our most significant angles now, whether you want to measure it by return on investment, whether you want to measure it by winning percentage, etc., and the other ways to measure statistics, they're mostly over-under trends. We go where the facts take us. That's why I've been in this business for 31 years. Biggest line move, San Diego State opened up as an 18-point favorite to UNLV. They're now all the way up to 23. Oklahoma State opened as a 17.5-point favorite. Oklahoma opened up as a 17.5-point favorite to Oklahoma State. They're now up to 21.5. Memphis opened up as a 14-point favorite to Tulsa. They're up to 17. Pretty significant here as it goes from one key number to another. Central Michigan opened up as a 10-point favorite to Bowling Green. They're now down to a 7-point favorite. They would be the most significant line moves. Again, please comment. Give us a like. It's very important if you like this information. Literally like us. The experts tell us this will really, really, really help us when it comes to search engine optimization, etc. And we'll talk to you again Sunday with more great free info. Oh, by the way, please visit joeduffy.net. Well, you have free, you bet at rotation games, you should. Many of these great systems apply to at rotation games. We give you free picks, joeduffy.net, for at rotation games.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.